Hi there, it's Catherine from Sunnyside Journals. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning or a subscriber, welcome back. I'm here today with a little thrift haul plus sort of an antiques shop haul. Yeah, definitely, yeah. It just wasn't that much to really count as a haul from the antique shops, but I did get a few cute little things and a little visit. First of all, big, huge thank you to Kelly if you're watching. Thank you. Oh my goodness, seriously, 1,000 times thank you. Thank you for posting. Kelly, for those of you who are wondering what on earth am I ranting about now, Kelly was watching my most recent video. I think it was my most recent one, where I was complaining once again about my phone. I record with my phone. And not very well either. And I was complaining about how my phone keeps filling up the memory and I can't figure out why. And I had taken it into the store several times. I had phoned Samsung Canada several times. Samsung had even helped me do a factory reset on it twice now. Anyhow, and nobody could figure out why my phone was doing this. Well, Kelly's husband was listening in when she was watching this video. He could hear me going on about how frustrated I was with my phone. And he said, let her know that it's probably that she needs to empty the recycle bin in her phone. And sure enough, he was right. I did a little bit of research, and in a Samsung S9 Plus, it's called the trash folder. And I found, I did a Google search on it, and it was able to help me find how to find my trash folder and how to empty it, and bam, it freed up all kinds of space in my phone. So even though I thought I was deleting a whole bunch of stuff, because like I would record a video, upload it to YouTube, and then I would hit what I thought was delete on my phone. Well, it was simply moving it over into the trash file, and then every 15 days it would empty the trash file. So I didn't know that. So it would be sitting there for 15 days and filling up and filling up and filling up the memory. So now, if I really truly want something to be gone off my phone, now I finally know how to do it. Thank you, Kelly, and thank you, Kelly's husband. Thank you very, very much. So hubby and I went camping this weekend. We have a little 21-foot trailer, and off we went. We went out to Prince Edward County, Ontario, which is on the north shore of Lake Ontario. And they had what's called the studio tour going on this week. It's an annual thing. Prince Edward County has a very, very vibrant artists community there all over it's a little, I don't know, it's sort of like a peninsula that goes out into Lake Ontario, and lots and lots of artists of all different kinds of media, the painters, ceramic artists, quilting artists, metal artists, you name it. The artists are out there. They're busy, they're thriving, they support one another. And so once a year they do what's called their open house tour weekend. And all the artists, well, many of the artists will open up their studio. You can actually go in, see how they work, see where they work. They'll be there to answer questions. It's just a really, really great weekend. So we went out for the studio tour of the of Prince Edward County weekend. And it just gives you a map, and you can go around and visit, whichever ones interest you. They let you know ahead of time the various artists and what they work in, and it's cool. Another cool thing that Prince Edward County does is they're very, very famous for their barn quilt trails. Somebody, I guess, somewhere along the way painted a massive quilting square on the side of their barn, and then more and more people started doing it. And you can literally follow a map. Hold on, let me open this up. You can follow a map of the various towns or of the entire county, and they're literally all the old barns. These are massive quilting squares. Honestly, I swear they're probably like 8 feet by 8 feet. They're huge. And they're just single squares. It's not like an entire quilt that they've painted on the side of the barn. It's a square. Let me see if I can bring this in closer so you can see. Like, see how this big square is on the side of this old barn? Well, they're all over the county, and you can literally follow the map and go around and see all the different ones. Here's some people over here. They're standing underneath one of these quilting squares. They're gorgeous. They're so bright and vibrant. Some people choose their square for a particular reason. Some people apparently design their own square. And these squares, the quilting squares, are just all over the county. And it's, oh, I mean, we had beautiful weather, and we just drove around, and we enjoyed all these quilting squares. And we enjoyed going into some little antique shops. And there was 2 thrift stores in the town of Picton that were open on Saturday. So we went, my husband took me there. He was the one chauffeuring me around for the day. And what a sweetheart. He's my enabler, my thrifting enabler. But boy, we had fun. And I honestly think maybe I spent a maximum of $20 total. I got a lot of bargains. I can't remember for some things how much I paid or which particular store or shop. Some of them I do remember, and I'll mention it. But for the most part, I honestly think I barely went through one $20 bill. So let's get into it. Like I said, it just started off. It was a great morning. I hit the hospital auxiliary. I got some vintage playing cards with, I think they're orchids on them, which I love. I love playing cards that have beautiful flowers on them. I found some old crocheted lace, or trim, I guess. I don't know the correct terms. I just know it's pretty, and I like putting it on junk journals. And I like the color of it because it's off-white. So I got that. A really beautiful, really faded old roll of the finest genuine satin ribbon. Looks like at one time it was a nice pink, and now it's just a very, very pale shell pink. You can tell that it's quite faded, and I love that. I like when you can tell that it really, really is old. That one still has the price tag. That was $1. These were 50 cents. I forget what that is. I think she just guessed and said 10 cents, and I said yeah. A roll for 50 cents of more more tickets, but I don't have this color combination. Look at this. It's green with red, and wouldn't that be great in Christmas junk journals? So I'm happy about that. A bundle of rickrack. Not too much, but hey, I'll use rickrack anytime. I love rickrack. I got a, hold on here. Oh, it's coming undone. Alright, I got a thing. Where'd the card go? Oh, no, it's just part of you were gone. Some seam binding. This was all together. Some seam binding. I'm just as happy about the label as I am about the actual seam binding. That label's beautiful. So I got that. 5 thank you cards, but they're very pretty. So happy with that. A pad of Yahtzee score charts. That's fun. A card of Hook and Eyes. Hooks and Eyes? Yeah, Hooks and Eyes. I've been looking everywhere. I've been wanting a tomato pincushion. I already have one, but I keep it inside my sewing basket, and I wanted another one for here on my desk. I don't know if you remember, I've always got my this sponge that's inside a mason jar lid that I keep all my pins and sharp pointy things that I use all the time. Every day I'm grabbing something off of there, and I really wanted just a new tomato to use, and I found one, and it was 50 cents, and it was actually still in the bag. I took it out so I could show you, but it actually really is brand new, and it was 50 cents. I've been trying not to buy any more little golden books, but I bought this one. So I've never seen it before, and I certainly didn't have it, and it's a cute one. It has really, really charming illustrations in it. Really cute. So I couldn't resist it. There once was a time little golden book junk journals was all I wanted to do. I just loved doing them, and just the more fun the better. But lately I've really enjoying really old books and working with a lot of tea-stained paper. So I'm sure I'll come back to them again. I'm not ready to get rid of my little golden books yet. So, but I did show some self-control only getting one. They actually had quite a lot at that store. I think I paid 25 cents for it. I like these. I got these at the Hospital Auxiliary Shop, and they're very pretty. I'm not sure what they're called because they're definitely not a doily. They're cotton. They're like just a little teeny tiny table runner. I'm not sure. Now they're not hand done, but they're still really old, and they're very pretty. You can tell that this one must have been in a window because it's much more pale than the green on this one. It's a nice off-white, and I love the polka dots on the green. So I'm happy with those. 3 of them, so 2 circles and 1 oval for $1.50. So those are nice. Happy with those. And I got a whole sandwich bag full of satin ribbons. So, and I didn't pay $2 for them. This was actually inside the sandwich bag like that. And the others were all stuffed inside as well. And the lady at the cash just sort of looked at this sandwich bag full of satin ribbons, and she just said, I don't know, 50 cents. And I said, deal. so I guess they should have been at least $2, but you know what? The price is whatever the cashier says, right? So I was happy with those. Let me push these out of my way. What else? Oh, I got a copy of, now where are you? Oh, that's a crummy old elastic. I got a copy of Harriet the Spy. I loved this book when I was a girl. Loved Harriet the Spy. This is a really cute edition because the cover is just like the dust jacket. There we go. And I just think that's really cute. Orange and yellow. Those are unusual for me. I don't think I've ever worked in oranges and yellows. So Harriet the Spy. Maybe, and look at how decrepit the building looks. Maybe that would make a cute Halloween journal. Anyhow, this one, I think it was 25 cents because it was in the children's book department. And I love it because it still has the school library pocket in the back. And it was from a school, St. Joseph's School in Douro, Ontario. I'm not even sure I know where that is. Anyhow, happy to find Harriet the Spy. The date that I found in this, as far as on the library card, was, oh, it's missing its front page. Look at that. 1970, but let's see what the copyright here is. 1964. Okay, that's nice. Okay, well, I'm happy with that. I was 4 years old in 1964. I got one of these. I see these all the time in my thrift stores. They're photo albums. They're sort of Victorian knockoff photo albums. So they're sort of frames made out of cardboard, and then you slide your photo in there. And let me make sure I'm still in focus. That's better. I hope that all of that wasn't blurry before this. Well, I'm just going to keep going. I hope it wasn't blurry. Anyhow, there's lots of pretty pages with a variety of flowers and little windows. And in a way, they're sort of doubled. I think I could use both sides because this would come apart, right? I could rip these apart. Up here, it opens up. And I also like this yellowed old glassine. That's kind of neat too. I think there's stuff I can do with this book, and certainly for $1, it's worth buying it just to see, just to cut it apart and see what I can do with it to put into other books. The artwork is certainly pretty. I don't think it's that old because there's a barcode on the back down here. So it's at least, what year would, I think barcodes started showing up in 85, I think. I don't know. So I'm going to see what I can do to play with this and see if it's, for $1, it's worth it. It's worth a try, right? Found a stack of window envelopes that have the that business lining in it so that you can't see through to see what's inside the envelope. I like these. They're an unusual shape. They're an unusual size, and I'll definitely be able to use those. I think I've been looking at them, and I think I would fold them off size rather than smack dab in the middle. I think I'd put them into the seam of the signature there so that I'd get the full window on one side, and then this side would still have a tuck spot room. So I think that's, I'm going to tea dye these tomorrow. I will be busy tea dyeing tomorrow, so that's good. I went to, now what did I get at Baddock's? Oh, okay, the antique store stuff. That's coming up. So if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I went to an antique shop called Dead People Stuff. And it's a very, very nice antique store. And usually I'm hesitant to go into a nice antique store because usually their prices are much more certainly than what I'm willing to pay, but they're usually, you're paying for their lovely rent and for their lovely atmosphere. That, I mean, this is a beautiful store, and it did have beautiful, beautiful things in it, and the only thing I found actually was still a good price, and the man was willing to work with me because, well, I'll explain. So I got milk. These are the tops that go on milk bottles. And but they're not used. These are from I think it's a dairy in Ottawa that went out of business, must be. Because he had rolls, and they were like giant rolls of pennies, only they were rolls of these milk discs. They're like pogs. They're so cute. I hope that's showing up. Because I use my phone, I can't see in the, there we go. And just so you know, for people that, I know it's different in different places, our 3.5% milk here in Canada, it's homogenized milk, and Canadians just tend to just call it homo milk. I think down in the United States, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, my American friends, you call it whole milk down there. And because we got into the habit of calling it homogenized milk, and then it just got shortened to homo milk. So I didn't want you worrying about what on earth is, you know, are these inappropriate or anything. It's just Canadians call 3.5%. So I bet they used the same, maybe they used the same card to go in the bottle, and then they would cross out if it was 2% or leave it that way if it was the 3.5%. Because certainly if you ask any Canadian what 3.5% milk is, it's homo milk for homogenized. Anyhow, I got a ton of these. Aren't they cute? I just love them. I was so happy. And he had all the skim milk ones out. And I paid more than what I usually would pay for things, but he wanted 10 cents each for these. So I treated myself, and I got a few. I think, did I get 20? I'd have to recount them, and I'm not going to. And so I had a 20, and I put them on the table, and he said, okay, I got to know, what are you going to do with 20 of these? And so I tried to explain what I do. And then he said, oh, so you might be interested. And then he pulled out this big roll, like a coin roll, but it was full of the 2% homo ones. And he said, you might want these. And I said, oh, I'd love some of those. I said, would you open that up for me? And he said, well, I was kind of hoping you want the whole roll. And I said, I really don't. There was like 300 in this roll. And he wanted like $30 for it. And I said, I'm terribly sorry. I said, I really, really, really want those ones. But I can't use a whole roll. And he said, well, I only want a roll. And I said, well, then I said, thank you very much. I'll just keep my skim milk and you know, have a nice day. And then as I was heading for the door, he sort of said, wait, okay, hold on, I'll open it up. And he did. He opened it up and he gave me these, the 2% Homos for the same price as the skim milk. So that was very nice, and I thanked him very, very much. I told him how much I appreciate him doing that, because I do understand antique stores, they've got to earn a living too. They've got to pay their bills. You know, somehow or other he found these from that dairy and you know, gas to bring them back, set them up, pay the rent in his shop and all that. I get it. We all have to look out for number one. So anyhow, I'm a happy girl now. I'm happy with all the little milk lid discs. I'm old enough. I am old enough. I remember these in our milk jugs. And if the milk took a long time to get used up, boy, could these get really grungy looking, because you'd still have to stick it back in. The way they worked was this little tag comes up. So then you could say, imagine this is the mouth of a bottle. So there's your little disc in there, keeping your milk fresh. And then you'd pop it out and pour your milk. And then you'd have to put this disc back in. And you had to be careful not to push too hard, or it went right down into your milk. And then usually your mom would be really, really peeved. And understandably. So that's the way those worked. And they usually, to find new ones, that's amazing. Because usually they just got all really mucky and then thrown out before the milk bottles got returned to the dairy. I went to another antique place, and it's my favorite kind of antique place. I love the ones that are filthy and messy and things packed to the rafters and they're covered in dust and you immediately start sneezing when you walk in the door. That's my kind of antique shop. And the lady in there was lovely. This place was called Porky's Antiques. But the lady there was lovely. I got 2 old bulldog clips, which I'm happy with. I actually love using these, and they make me happier when they're this pretty. Look how pretty that is. So nicely rusted. And I love this. I went through all her bins of cabinet handles and things like that. And I found that just this one, I kept looking. If she had more of these, I would have been so happy. But it's just, she just had this one. Can you see here? There's a keyhole in it. Isn't that going to look cool on a book? I can't wait to use this. And there's 2 little holes at either right here and right here. So I'll be able to put a brad through it and put it onto a book. Have I got a blank book somewhere? Oh, here's one. So like, imagine this is my book that I'm working on. And then I put that on there like that. Oh, I get really excited even just thinking about it now. What book is going to get this? Yay. All right. And I guess the thing that made me the happiest that I found this weekend was also at this antique shop, Porky's. And it's not going to fit in the screen. I'm warning you right now. I got a really, really huge ledger book. It's huge. I think it's about 1 inch thick, and it's completely intact. Hold on. All the pages are still in it. Hasn't been used yet. They're all numbered, which is really nice. And I got it. You know what? I think it was reasonable what she asked. She asked $8 for this. And I would certainly spend more than $8 for a small brand new ledger book. You know, if I went over to a stationery store here in my town. So to get this massive one, how big is it? I think I measured that it was 15 by 12 and a half. 12. Yeah, 15 by 13. Wow. And then it's about 1 inch, maybe 1.5 inches thick. So you know what I'm thinking I want to do with this is, It's so huge. Obviously, I'm never going to make a junk journal this big, but I'm wondering if this would make a nice lap book. If I just find a way to cut it here, front and back, and then use this side as the flip outs. Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking this would really, really look spectacular as a lap book. It's just beautiful. I love everything about it. I love the color of it. I hope it's coming through nicely. This is black and with a little bit of gold trim here, and then this color is sort of a brick red. It's just really, really beautiful, and I'm so happy with it. The spine on it is just in great shape, and I think if anyone here has done it before, and if you can let me know, I'm thinking that in order to cut this in half, if I would use a ruler and then use a blade and then do the cut till you get right through it. Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking that's the way I would have to cut this side off of this side. Let me know what you think, because I really think that's what I'm going to do with this book. I think it would be stunningly beautiful. Anyhow, that's it. That's my haul. That's my mostly thrift haul and teeny tiny bit from Antique Shop haul. It was a lovely weekend. Boy, it was like summer again this weekend. Warm. It was up in the 25s. With the heat index, it was about 32, 33. But it cooled down really nicely at night. So our campsite was right on the this little inlet, this little waterway that people needed to use on their boats to get out to the lake. So it was so peaceful because they couldn't go speeding through it. It was very shallow. So these people on boats would just go floating by and waving, and there were children on the dock fishing off the dock, and it was just idyllic. We just had a lovely time. So that's it. I am actually going to put all this stuff away, and I'm going to get to work on, I'm working on, at the same time as in Felicia, I'm working on a commission book right now, and I think I'm going to go get working on my commission book for this evening. So thanks for stopping by. If you're not a subscriber, I hope you'll take a second and subscribe, and I definitely hope you'll take a second and just hit that thumbs up like button down there. And don't forget, this coming Wednesday, September 25th, I will be reopening my Etsy shop, and there will be 5 thank you junk journals that will be available, and they'll go in order of whoever places their order first to the first 5 people who place an order with me when I reopen my shop. So I hope that you'll go over and take a look. I believe I will have 14 of my junk journals listed on Wednesday, and then the 5 additional ones that will go to the first 5 customers who place an order. So I hope you'll do that, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll talk soon. Take care. Bye.